Hello, everybody. A couple questions about Zoom and trying to keep or have the Whiteboard app with it. So, yes, on a laptop and on a PC, there is a whiteboard feature that works with Zoom. For whatever reason, on the Chromebook, there isn't that feature. So, I figured out a way that you can use that. Okay, so right now you see my screen. I don't have my face in the bottom right corner here. I feel like one of my faces is more than enough. All right, so you'll notice that the Zoom on the Chromebook, and what makes it a little bit tricky, the Zoom on the Chromebook is its own application, okay? Different a little bit than when you're working with Google Drive material through the browser on your Chromebook, okay? So looking at that up here, I have these little web pages that are up here already. So that's part of the trick. So now, though, what we're going to do, though, is I've already planned ahead of time that I have, my dummy version. Go ahead, say your jokes. And then I also have Anakin Skywalker here. It's nice to have the Dark Lord of the Sith with us. These are my two students that are in the classroom with me. I've already admitted them. Everyone seems to feel comfortable with that piece there. So moving forward, the idea now is being able to share a screen with them and share basically like a digital whiteboard. So there is a digital whiteboard in Google. It's called a Jamboard, Google Jamboard. Okay. The way to find it is in your waffle tiles here. You'll see Jamboard. Now, yours may not be this high up in priority. I've been using it, experimenting with this, so you may have to scroll down to find it. If you don't find it there, you can always type in and search for Jamboard, and it will come up. Jamboard.google.com. You'll see this little symbol here. Okay, jambalaya does sound nice, but we're looking for Jamboard right here. Okay, so I have my new tab here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our screens set up. So I'm going to come over to this box here, box within a box. This would be to minimize it a little bit. This is your full minimize. Okay, takes it all the way down. This brings it all the way up. I want to share my screen, okay, because I want to be able to see my students on one side and then be able to see the Jamboard that I'm working with, that digital whiteboard on the other. So what I can do is I'm going to hold down. I'm holding down my left click. Notice those little arrows to the left and to the right. When I do that, it will perfectly center. It will perfectly push this screen over to the right. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to let go. Okay, that's all I did was just let go. Notice now it's perfectly on the right side of the screen. Now I want to get my Zoom back, so I'm going to come down to the bottom here, come right back to my Zoom, and I'm going to click on that. And there I am. There are my students. There I am. This because we're going to use the fact that this is its own program, and we're going to have these up at the same time. So I'm going to move this over so it's smaller. I still see dummy me, and I see Anakin over here, and I can come to this gallery view, and I can have everybody on there. Now, yes, this is a much smaller part of the screen, so yes, these pictures will be much, much smaller, but this is kind of our workaround for this here. One thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and use all the real estate that I have on my screen, and I'm just going to drag this over. Did you see how it just kind of snapped right in there? Okay, so now I'm set. Okay, when I go to Jamboard, the nice thing about Jamboard is because it's a Google tool, it works within our Google Drive. Right, we're trying to use all the features that we have with our Google Apps for Education. And so a Jamboard works just like any other Google tool. It is a very collaborative tool. So yes, you could use this by yourself and be able to illustrate and show the students in their online learning the concepts that you're speaking about. You could also share this exact document with students, and they'd be able to work on it as well. Okay, so I was experimenting earlier, and so Joey is working on this, and Rob was working on this as well. Okay, so that's all good, and I can type those in, or I could get this link and I could send it to the students ahead of time. If you wanted them to do some work ahead of time and then maybe talk about it and review the concepts that they had worked on, you can certainly do that. It's a collaborative space, just like a Google Drawing, just like a Google Doc. All the wonderful features of that collaboration lives within this Jamboard. I can title this. I'm leaving it as an untitled jam. So it's all right here. And you'll know that there's a couple features. There's your pen, your eraser. This is your selecting tool, right? If you're trying just to select and move around. This is your sticky note, which is really very nice. You can type anything in here for your sticky note, and then it will hop onto the page there, and I can cancel that out. This sticky note I can make larger, I can make smaller, and I can edit it as I need to. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys have some time playing with this. Right, the add image piece is here, so you get the full idea of Google searching and Google Drive. So the other day we were having fun with it, and we were saying, "Hey," so we throw in the fonts, right? We'll throw the fonts in there. So there he is. No Jamboard's complete without the fonts. Okay, so there's a lot of different tools that the kids can use and play with, and they're going to have a lot more fun with it than I just did right there. So right now, what I want to do though, and what I haven't done yet, I got too busy playing, was I want to share this screen with the students. Okay, so I'm going to come down to share, and I have two choices. I can share my entire desktop, or I can share the application. This is probably about take 4 because I thought desktop would be the best way to do it. But really it works best when you use the application, because what the application is, because we're running two separate applications, we're running a Zoom application and we're running basically Google Chrome on the right side over here. Yes, we're using Jamboard, but remember all of that lives online on Google Chrome. What we're doing is we want to use that application. We're going to share that application. So when I click on that, it's going to ask me, what do I want to share? Well, I don't want to share the Zoom. This is already what we see. We're going to see each other several times on here. I want to share this application, okay? What I have found is, yes, you would think that you would click on share right here. What I found though is once that's highlighted with the light blue around it, if I just hit enter, it will work better, okay? So now you'll notice that I lost my Zoom over here. This is gone. And the reason why is I'm only sharing what's going on here with the fonts, okay? The dummy me, C. Schultz, can see this, and Anakin Skywalker can see this right now on their screen. They also can see my face, just like that typical Zoom. So anything I do on here, I can, the children will see. Okay, I just use my touch screen there to do that, to say hello. What I'd like to have, though, is I want to have those children in front of me. I want to be able to see their faces and really see my face as well in that interaction piece. So I'm just going to come down to the bottom here again, and I'm just going to click on Zoom, and it's going to take it right back off to the side. I have my option. Do I want to bring up the shared screen? Well, I already have that on here. I want to bring up the Zoom screen. And when I do that, I have my kids again. Okay. Now, if I want to get back to that gallery view that we liked a bit more, right? I can come down here and I can see those students. Okay. But this is kind of that workaround, so that I know a lot of people were looking for opportunities to be able to see their student, especially our therapists that are working with our students, or maybe some of our SEL teachers. But that opportunity to be able to see the child as well while you're working with a whiteboard feature here. So I don't think Zoom even has this part where you can see it all. But what's nice about the Jamboard is that it will live. It will live on. It will be saved. So the work you do ahead of time can be done ahead of time. What's really nice about that also is maybe if you don't want this whiteboard space, but you're sharing information through a Google Slide, well, this will all just come up right here with your Google Slide. You can have multiple students working on a Google Slide at a time, and you can then run through kind of your review of what they're doing. So opportunities, and ideas are endless here. But I just wanted to show you kind of this little trick to be able to do a Zoom and have your digital whiteboard here, so that the students can see what you're working about, and maybe even teach them a little bit about the fonts. So I hope this helps. I hope everyone's having a great summer, and I will see you all shortly. Bye-bye.